Randy dropping the Worcester knowledge.
How about this? He's trying to get a free appetizer or something? I mean, it's unbelievable.
Bloomin' onion? I don't know. That sounds a little heavy for 8:15 in the morning. Getting us ready for day one of the first round. If you're still kind of nervous about your brackets, we're going to get to that a little bit later in the show. But right now, let's start with the first game of the day and maybe a player to watch. You've got number 4 Duke taking on number 13 UNC Wilmington. That's tipping at 12:15. Maybe not a lot of people super familiar with this 13 stories that were really resonating in the sports world this week. We start on Monday when the NFL's senior vice president acknowledged for the first time that there is a link between football and the brain disease CTE.
And that admission came during a roundtable discussion convened by the U.S. House of Representatives Committee on Energy and Commerce.
That topic became a discussion point Wednesday at the NFLPA reps meeting in Hawaii. Some of the reaction that came in late last night to the NFL's admission.
Other big story coming out yesterday afternoon was the sudden retirement, as we switch gears to baseball, of Adam LaRoche of the White Sox.
Yeah, the initial report listed his reasoning as a personal issue. But during the day yesterday, as first reported by Fox, it was due to the White Sox telling LaRoche to limit the time his 14-year-old son spends in the clubhouse.
It is a story generating a lot of discussion, a lot of opinions, and here's a look at how it's played out over the last couple of days.
Listen, we all have different reactions to this, right? I mean, we were talking about this in the pre-show meetings and stuff, and to me, the one thing that I'd like to know is what changed from last year to this year with regard to the club's policy with LaRoche, because he was there last year and so was the son. Wasn't a problem then.
Maybe nothing changed. Maybe just decided that, okay, enough is enough. No. I mean, I can see both sides. I'm with Bryce Harper. Cool. He had the strength of his convictions to retire if that's what he wanted to do. But I'm with Wilbon. At the end of the day, it's a workplace.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have kids, so I can't speak to that. But yeah, I'm kind of with the PTI guys. I mean, it is a workplace. He wasn't saying he couldn't do it every single day.
Right.
Or just not every single day, not at all, you know.
It wasn't an all or nothing proposition.
Exactly.
It was just scale it back a little bit.
All right. Well, Ariema, you might want to give her a call.
Get her on the phone.
Speaking of which, yesterday we saw President Obama really go out on a limb to pick Kansas, the top overall seed, to win the men's NCAA tournament.
He made great picks. He and I have darn near the same Final Four. Up next for the Commander-in-Chief, he's actually going to take his shot at the women's brackets.
UConn, the clear-cut favorite there. So will the president follow suit and take the top team again? Going to find out with the debut of President Obama's women's picks. Time for some Barackatology.
Anything we've done to this point, but this is the best part of the show right here.
You know, if you aren't familiar with the Dan Le Batard show, they do a segment that's called Looks Like. It compares a famous sports figure to something hilarious and random, but also very accurate. And in honor of the NCAA tournament, they have a full bracket of these things. You can see it on ESPN.com. I stayed in my car an extra 10 minutes after getting to my destination yesterday just to hear this segment. And
it was worth every minute, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and now throw Tim Kirkchin in the mix. You can only imagine where this is going to go.
The Joey Crawford was spot on.
That was the best one. How about SVP chiming in on it? He's a good sport.
With his own.
Yeah, called in. What we thought people would look like in the future.
And it's accurate, too.
Yeah.
Really was.
He's a futuristic dude.
You know you've made it if you make it on that segment.
That's true, but you better be prepared for the harsh realities of he looks like. All right, let's move on. Our top hour continuing. It's our
8 here on the East Coast, and we like to do our top back in the day during this hour. Today it is inspired by the question, will a 16 seed ever beat a 1 seed?
Well, since seeding began in 1985, that answer's been no. 16 seeds have played 124 games against a 1 seed, and they've lost every time.
No one's gotten closer than the 1989 Princeton Tigers, who nearly knocked off Georgetown. John Saunders and Dick Vitale get this highlight started.